Hello, David. I wanted to make a video showing you these little Zulu 2.0 SCSI cards. And I've set it up with a bunch of different partitions for you. I have it booting on a NeXT Turbo Cube motherboard. And I'm getting ready to take a few boards over to Matt, my capacitor guy, and we're going to do fresh Austrian caps on the motherboards. And we use the Austrian capacitors for the larger caps, and then for the smaller ones, we do ceramic caps. So in the boot process here, you'll see I've got 128 megs of RAM. It's past the SCSI. It's going to kick over to another screen, and then we'll show the 6 partitions. So, original NeXT hardware used these MaxStore drives. And I think the 330 was about a $3,000 upgrade. The lower one and the upper one was $660, which is a $5,000 upgrade. And David actually, I was looking at his resume, pretty impressive. He was actually one of the senior engineers at NeXT, and it was at the forefront of AI technologies for symbolics. And his company, or his participation in that company, had the world's very first .com address, which is pretty neat. So I'm looking forward to talking with him and kind of sharing some stories. And he's still very successful in his current endeavors, as we would expect. So, David, back to the boot process. So it takes a minute to get through, as I say, it's emulating 6 drives. Amazing now we can do all this on a little SD card. So I went ahead and loaded you up with lots of cool old NeXT apps, including the developer tools. And we'll have to chat about some of the projects that you've worked on, because it's a pretty impressive resume. And I look forward to that conversation and continuing conversations, as just kind of talking along here as the boot process is complete. And I use an Extreme Pro 100 megabit per second card. So it's fairly fast, almost comparable to the old SCSI hard drives. And you have to take into consideration that it's actually booting 6 drives, or at least it thinks it does. So I'm going to go ahead and log in here as soon as we get a login screen. And that should happen momentarily. We've got the spinning beach ball, which is a good sign. I just want to make sure that all of the partitions mount. And there we go. So log in as root with no password. Everybody out there, if you're going to network the NeXT, you'll want to set a password for root. And that's really easy to do. It's just up in preferences. As I'm running a little short on time, I want to make sure and get this out to David today, along with his BIOS battery. And I got myself a little soldering kit. This thing's supposed to be pretty neat. I guess it automatically feeds the solder. So I'm going to dabble in doing some capacitors just on a test basis. And my buddy Matt's going to kind of show me the ropes on that. And I've got some dead boards I can practice on and things like that. But I thought maybe I could tinker with some stuff, as I'm always kind of inventing around here. So that being said, once we get all of the apps loaded here, I'm going to go ahead and log out. And you can see that what it does, you've got the main boot drive, and then it has the additional 5 drives. And then below that, I created local apps for each one. And then below that, within those local apps directories, I loaded up the Peanuts discs and the Fatted Calf CD and a bunch of other apps. And we've got permission from a lot of the old authors. I do it whenever possible so that we can run their apps and get license strings because a lot of them are only run in demo mode. So I've always been good about that, and it's kind of fun for the hobbyist community to see how far advanced a lot of these applications were and what was capable with 1- and 2-man shops. So I'm going to go ahead here, log out and power down, and I'm going to try and do some videos later for a previous install, as the latest version of previous was just released, version 3.1, and that's our homebrew NeXT 68K emulator that we're working on over on nextcomputers.org. And Mayoko, your NeXT SCSI, Zulu SCSI is coming, as well as all the NeXT World magazines. And if I have time, I'm going to finish boxing those up as well. Keith, I know you had some damage on a box. It's unbelievable what the post office did to a box full of cables and sound cards. They actually broke it in half. Okay, and he had to go pick it up, and they were very rude, somewhere in New Jersey. And so I'm dealing with that. Wasn't very nice of them. Apparently the sound cards and the Zulu cards were missing, which were in separate small boxes within the large USPS shipping box. But, that's just part of the business. It's kind of a substantial hit for me as a small business, and I am not sure what they're going to do as far as insurance. I think it was only $100, but we've got a case opened, and I'm hoping that they can at least locate those cards, because it is significant. We only have so many of the third-party sound cards. There was one in the box, and then one separate. They managed to break the cube internal mounting bracket as well. All of the cables arrived, at least, and the inside NeXT book in the factory box survived intact, undamaged. So there you go. Another day in the life of a sales guy in a small business and Black Hole Incorporated. But I love my job, love all my customers. Right now, I'm not thinking too much of the post office delivery service. I guess they initially delivered that package to the wrong address in a town over. And, I mean, for them to break the box in half is, someone had a personal vendetta. And of course, it's all the best, the most expensive things that are missing. The Zulu card, that's $200. And then the sound cards and sound box, that's another $400, and even my cost on all that stuff, it's a pretty significant hit for a little guy like me. But all in the day's work, and we'll see. Stay tuned. I'd keep a positive attitude about it all. Okay, have a good day.